Hello, 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 and welcome back to the summer of 26, a global soccer showdown. Myself, Gary Striker, and The Qooligan. Qooligan 4-1. What an absolute thriller last night that was. Little dusty after.
Well, I was going to say, in full disclosure for all those listening at home, this is take two because our first take, which was brilliant, by the way, I thought it was a striking concerto of impromptu witticisms and hangover tales. And then Mr. Striker pressed the wrong button and turned it off, and so we had to go and re-record. It's okay. We get it. We've all been there.
Yeah.
And it's
definitely
probably for the best because I was waxing poetic about the beer scene in
craft beers of the Bay Area. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Craft beers of the Bay Area, particularly Oakland, which is very strong. And I was at a watch party there, and it was a fantastic time. The local baseball field for the Pioneer League playing Oakland Ballers. They have a beautiful field, and they just let us sit on the field and put a big screen TV up and kids running around. It
Fantastic.
was chaos. The Unicorns, the San Francisco Unicorns, which is the local professional cricket team, were out there trying to get people interested in cricket. Good luck.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I mean, it was quite the Spiders, the Oakland Spiders, which is the ultimate Frisbee professional team that we have here. We're out there trying to do things. I mean, come on. All the obscure sports were coming out, trying to get a little bit of milk off of the World Cup teat. It was beautiful.
Bandwagoning, yeah.
Absolutely beautiful.
My goodness, wonderful. Are you a little bit tender this morning like I am as well?
Not at all. No, not at all. No, I was very restrained, and want to give a shout out to also the folks over at Jane's Pizza and Bricks Factory, who have one of the best combos going. Go get a pizza, sit next door at the brewery, have an incredible beer, and the pizza is truly next level. I mean, I have not had a better pie in a long time.
Wow, wonderful, wonderful. We actually also had a very American experience. We went to this new taco chain, well, not taco chain, it's a taco store. There's a third one that's open called Taco del Diez. And it's like traditional, it's like trying to sort of basically capture sort of Mexico City street tacos. And it is phenomenal.
Okay.
Absolutely phenomenal. So we did that, had a couple of Mexicolas as well and some Pacificos, and not what's more American than that. And then going down to go and watch the US absolutely eviscerate Paraguay.
No, I'd say that's pretty Yankee Doodle Dandy with the Mexicano twist, and I'm glad to hear that Torchy's is finally getting a run for its money. So,
oh God, Torchy's have kind of got too big, and that Veracruz is the other
they're
one
very
that's gone up
corporate
as well.
now. But when I was first visiting Austin, a decade ago, Torchy's was still the shit. I mean, it was good stuff.
Yeah, the Torchy's it's around the place. It's there. It's okay. But Veracruz is very good. But this is my new favorite, Taco del Diez. Wow, these guys are fantastic. Yeah. Absolutely fantastic. Anyway, Qooligan. We've got, oh my God, the World Cup. We're in full swing. It's only day 3 of the World Cup, and already I
consider this the day where it really kicks off because you got 4 games, right? Once you start getting into that back-to-back chaos. I mean, yesterday was fun, but that big gap in between kind of took some of the thunder out of it.
I agree. There was a bit of a lag time, a bit of waiting time. But I mean, we have to cover off, obviously. I mean, how incredible was that US first half and overall performance? I mean, I've never seen a US team play like that. And I hope that lights the touch paper and just activates 300 plus million Americans to just say, let's get at this and let's go and support this and get behind this. Because I'm
thinking 300 million Americans all got us to go, let's go to Hooligan Soccer and find out more. But that's me being greedy. Yeah, hooligan-soccer. But that's just me. I will agree with you on the first half. There were warning signs in the second half, though. So I'm going to be I'm going to throw a little cold water on that hot optimism of yours.
Yes.
Not because I want to bring the U.S. men's team down. That's not it. They earned that win. And that first half performance, as you said, was scintillating, sizzling, red hot. They were en fuego in every definition, and deservedly went in with the 3-0 lead. But the second half, there were issues.
That was the US that I kind of would expect to have seen in a way, and for me it all changed when they took Pulisic off, right? And rightly so. I thought it was good to just manage him and take him off, but all of a sudden, because he was so dynamic down that left side, he was causing so many problems. So You need Pulisic on form if you want to perform, but they did look a little bit flat in the second half, admittedly. Also, Paraguay changed their tactics. They realized they were getting smashed in the face, and they had to change some things.
Right. And two things happened in that. Like you said, Pulisic came off. That kind of took a little bit of that. Yeah, you already mentioned that. They also showed a small amount of fatigue. They were beginning to tire a tiny bit. And the goal that happened was not actually a result of poor American play. It was the result of a poor individual decision by Chris Richards. He came out of his position by a number of yards trying to intercept that long pass from the goalkeeper. Once he was plucked out of position, it opened up that flank, right, that Mauricio then was able to exploit. That I found to be really interesting because of, and by the way, he would have never done that if he'd been at Crystal Palace. He would have he would not have. He would have known, do not, as a center back, you do not leave that position unless it's absolutely necessary. No. And I don't know whether that was just momentary insanity, if it was just, him feeling the vibe, but the good news is that's a very addressable problem because, Poch will take him and say, Chris, he'll sit him down, be like, and every coach will be like, it didn't hurt us. But in a tight game, that kills us. You can't do that. You can't break the discipline of those lines, right?
Yeah.
I hate to say it, Tim Ream had a great game.
He did, didn't he?
He really did. And I'm like, I've been a critic of him in the past, but I will say, kudos, Tim, well done. And really, there was nobody out there on the U.S. side, I thought, that played poorly. Nobody made any major, gaffes. Nobody other than Richards. But he also had some great stops and some good hard tackles, and so no equivocation. Julio Enciso playing for Paraguay was an unexpected twist. When I looked at the lineup and I saw Kawhi, I said, oh, he's playing. I had not heard that he was okay. And you could see exactly why he was so dangerous, because every attack came through him in Paraguay.
Yeah.
Without him, I think it could have been a 5-6-0 win for the U.S.
Yeah.
So if you're watching from the other clubs, that's the guy you got to that's the guy you got to mark.
Yeah. I thought he was very good. So
I think Freeman did a good job in managing him, right? That was his responsibility. He did exceptionally well.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to sort of organize my thoughts here. So can I ask, do you think that that USA result was the result of an incredible performance and they could go and do that against, sort of more sort of competitive competition? Or is it because it was against Paraguay and they just weren't sure what to expect and sort of the US sort of caught them on the hop and really sort of stunned them? Or do you think that's sort of, where should we set our expectations, do you think, going into the next couple of games? Yeah.
That's the thing. It's a comparison of two games. When you look at the United States, the way they played, and you look against Canada, because we're going to talk about Canada too, you're going to see two teams that had two different reactions to the pressure of being a host nation in an opening game. And the U.S. rose to the occasion.
Yeah, they did. They
put their little water wings on. They jumped in and they floated to the top.
And they just
and they just kicked and splashed and did everything that they needed to do to make that game memorable and to come out hard, fast, strong, on the front foot, and then not take their foot off the gas. That was the other thing in the second half. They didn't quite, they kind of tailed off that pressure attack and allowed Paraguay more into it.
But tournament football, I would say that was probably the right play as well. You're 3-0 up as well. It's tournament football. You've got the game in the bag, right? Just save yourself. Don't push yourself. Conserve your energy, those things.
It's an observation, not a critique, right?
Yeah.
Because in the end, and what really, I think, didn't save the U.S., but one of the best things that happened, that last-minute goal by Gio Reyna, absolutely blew the roof off of the stadium.
Sunken SoFi Stadium, yeah.
Yeah, and right there at that moment, any of that sort of queasy feeling, that ill feeling that you might have had about the performance in the second half being a little flat, not quite, it went away.
Yeah.
20 or so passes. If you're going to get, what's that?
There was like 20 passes, the sort of the build-up play to that goal as well.
I didn't see that because unfortunately I was already I was walking. I was trying to beat the rush to the pizza place, and
we left at the third quarter and got it in the car as well. My son was watching it, and it was just like pass, ding, 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 20 passes, US passes they strung together, and then finished that off. So, yeah.
I mean, so if that is the way you finish out a dull half, by basically saying, hey, we hadn't forgotten how to do this. So we're still here. We'll see you next game. I mean, brilliant. Just an absolutely brilliant way to finish. And but I will, let's talk about Canada now, because I mean, we all know that the US did great.
Well,
and I would like to talk about Canada, because that was an example, in my opinion, of, whoa, they did not respond to the occasion in the way that they needed to.
They did not look convincing at all, did they? They did not look convincing.
No. Now, that said, I will say this. They were better. Okay. They were better than Bosnia in many ways. What killed them, though, they did not have any finishing. They could not finish to save their life. And
oh my God.
Listen, I feel bad, and I hope that he's getting a nice talking to by a sports psychologist. Jonathan David needs to get something rewired in his head. It's almost as if he, like, listen, Pulisic had a terrible season, second half of the season, right? But he's redeemed himself in this match. Jonathan David did not have a good season either, and so far he is not redeeming himself. He had opportunities to put this game to bed for Canada, and he whiffed them. And it wasn't just him, right? Tani Olu, can't remember. So Tani also choked on multiple occasions.
Yeah.
There's only one player that came on there and remained cool and calm, and that was Kyle Lauren, the substitute. I saying it right now, Kyle Lauren starts the next game. Guarantee it.
Yeah.
Okay. Alphonso Davis and Kyle Lauren are given the start, because Jesse he knows. You could see his reaction when Jonathan David and Tani he was pissed. Jesse Marsh cannot hide his emotions. This is one of his weaknesses, right? Everything is there. Everything is there.
Can we just say, though, but the Fox team, particularly Clint Dempsey, they were going in on Jesse Marsh. They were sort of...
It was a little much.
There was a shiving in the yard there for him on Jesse Marsh. There's obviously some history there, but my goodness, like, particularly they had two American guys, and particularly Dempsey. He does not like Jesse Marsh, does he?
No, he does not. He does not. Well, to get the jailhouse legal, you shank with a shiv.
Sorry, okay, well.
But that, Jeff, if you want, just... it's okay. Yeah, I don't know. I think it was fun. Marsh did come out with a statement that was a little, I mean, he didn't have to say that, right? It's like, it's one thing to, we all know that he's got history with the U.S. men's national team, both good and bad. But for him to come out and state that when he was a coach, it's like, you don't talk smack about the other team when you're not playing them, in my opinion, right? Just keep it on the high level. He didn't do that. But
what did he say?
He made a statement that reputedly, I haven't seen it, but he reputedly made a statement in an interview about how when he was assistant coach, he and Berhalter had to encourage the American players to sing the national anthem.
Okay. Oh, and this is where Dempsey came back, and he was
this is where Dempsey came in and starts doing his thing. Listen, anytime you're going to talk smack about the U.S., Dempsey and Lawless are going to come in and they're going to swing to defend, right? It's just that's what they do. That's a given. That's what they do.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
But when you say something like that, Dempsey was on the team. So now you're talking about something personally, and that's where you're going to get the nasty side. That's where the nagadocious comes out of Dempsey, and he's gonna swing at your knee, and smile while he's doing it. So I get it, I think Carly Lloyd had the best sort of muted answer where she was like, there's confidence and then there's arrogance, and that's where it goes into the line. I thought that was pretty restrained.
That was smart.
And it's true. Marsh is not one of those managers that takes a storied, steady approach to things. He is all bluster. He is all belief. He will go, but like one of the Canadians said, he's one of those players that was Bradley Wright Phillips, I think, said, everybody who's in this sport has to have a certain level of delusion. Right? That's part of professional sports, is that you always have a delusion. You believe these insanities. He goes, Marsh also believes your insanity. He believes your delusion. He knows, he sees what you're seeing, and he's absolutely behind you. Okay, that's great. But it can sometimes trip up and do things. Now, that's fine. The good news is Canada didn't lose.
Yeah.
Right? They didn't lose. they did statistically outperform Bosnia. Bosnia looked okay, especially on set pieces.
Yes. Again, these Eastern Bloc guys, hey, these Eastern Bloc guys,
and that long,
organized.
and long throws, and that corner kick was masterful. Canada just switched off a tiny bit, but that's not to take away from the brilliant execution on that goal. Well done. I was surprised they didn't put Dzeko in. I thought they were going to do it, but I thought also Bosnia, when they went one up, they went defensive. They went low block, park the bus. We're just going to hold. And I don't think that is a strategy that can win you knockout matches. That's a strategy that can get you into the penalty kick zone in knockout matches. Yeah. That is not necessarily the best strategy to take in group phases.
Just press, get your 3 points.
You gotta push. Yeah. This is push football. This is aggressive attacking soccer. You gotta get in there.
Yeah.
They didn't do that. Okay.
Yeah.
That was a coaching choice, right? I mean, with the Bosnian coach, he's a professional poker player, right? That's what he does when he's not coaching, apparently. Okay. So if he's not professional, he's extremely good. Like he's on the circuit. He saw the way the cards were dealt, played his hand, didn't work. The flop tripped over him, and or the river hit him.
Blind, yeah. I don't know. River and the blind.
Insert Texas Hold'em, analogy here. And it didn't work for him. But I do say kudos because honestly, there were two moments. That goal line clearance by Kolasinac was unlike anything I've ever seen. That ball was clearly in there. And that shot, if he tries to make that clearance, I think 98 times out of 100, it's going in the back of the net. And for some reason, it just caught that one tip of the toe and hits the bar, comes out. I was out of my couch, leaping, going, I can't believe I just saw that.
Yeah.
That will probably go down as the defensive effort of the first round of games. There's a lot of great soccer to come, but that one's pretty outstanding.
So far it was pretty good. Yeah. Okay. And then we've got Switzerland, Qatar.
Ballering's second goal. Sorry.
We're talking about. We're going back to the US game now.
Back to the United States. I just got to give a shout out.
Yeah.
That goal.
Yeah, I mean, top corner, like the top bins.
As fine as anything that you will see. As fine as anything that you will see.
Definition of top bins, right? That was the postage stamp, as they say, right in that top corner. It was fantastic. Yeah. So what I will say, though, is I was just looking at it. I was listening to his interview afterwards. I didn't realize. So I believe he's got Nigerian parents. He was born in Brooklyn and then grew up in the UK. So he has 3 passports and he could have played for 3 countries, right? And the UK or sort of England didn't come for him. So it sounds like he had a choice between the US and Nigeria. He has put himself on the map, right? Plays for Monaco, plays obviously at a decent level. What is he, 23, 24? I mean, if he scores a few more goals like that, you can now go and pick any European city that you want and you can go and play there next season because they will be coming for you, right? They will definitely put himself on the map. But yeah, I agree.
He's 24. 24.
Yeah, 24. So he'll if he has a good run and gets a few more goals as well, he definitely is sort of up there on sort of contender for young player of the season. Although 24 is probably not quite the right cut, but I do think Gio Reyna's finish was fantastic. I've never been the biggest fan of Gio Reyna, but
dude, I had to eat my words because I was with a group of friends, and when they put him on, I was like, oh my god. I said, I hate to say it, but mark my words. Gio Reyna is going to do something dumb, and it's going to result in a goal. And then he scored, and I said, see, I told you that he was going to get a goal. They all looked at me, and they're like, no, you can't backtrack on that, man.
I know it. I live and work with it, Hooligan. I understand. I can empathize with you completely. Yes.
Right.
Okay, so US off to a flying start. Pochettino, again, that style of play, I feel like Pochettino is kind of like holding everything back. That looked like Spurs when they were sort of getting to Champions League finals.
Yes.
It did look like Spurs, that style. He has that 3 at the front of Pulisic on the left, obviously Balogun on the front, and then McKinney behind them as well. And then Dest as well on the right-hand side looked very good.
You've got Dest and Freeman actually doing a really interesting thing because they're both playing wing backs.
Yeah. Well,
one's an up wing back, the other's a back wing back. But when one goes up, the other one drops in, right? So they are inverting their positioning.
Yeah.
And so it really doesn't matter who does what. You'll see Dest just as much inside the opposition box as you will in his own box trying to defend.
Yeah.
That is the standard definition of the modern win back style. And so those two do it really well. So they're in a nice sync.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, no, US look really good. I'm excited to see them, and hopefully they've activated it and activated the country, and we'll get behind them. Okay, let's move on to today's games. We've got four.
4 bangers. Well,
and
not all.
And I've realized, yeah. First one, Qatar, Switzerland. Honestly, that's the one where I'm actually I'm running my errands and sort of I expect Switzerland to probably comfortably sort of this will be a sort of a 2-0 sort of.
This should literally be a walk through the park. If it was Austria, I'd say it was a waltz, but it's not. It's Switzerland, and I don't know what dances they do there, but whatever it is, we should be seeing. I'm going to say there should be at least 3 goals in this match.
Yeah. It depends how Switzerland come out and if they're activated and if they want to really sort of get at it, because again, they should be able to. I mean, Granit Xhaka are in there.
They are the most consistent, one of the most consistent World Cup performers around. Yes. That's not one of the big ones.
Yeah.
They always make it out of the group phase.
Yeah. I think
they never make it usually past the next round, but Switzerland is so bloody consistent in all of their tournament play. They're very, very good at it.
Cultural. This is the Swiss. They're on time.
Dare I say clockwork. They're like clockwork.
Exactly. There it is, Qooligan. Okay, so it had to happen. Okay, but the one thing I am looking forward to, and I am going to be absolutely glued to the TV, is Brazil-Morocco. This is going to be a fantastic game. Two basically Morocco. I think Morocco ranks 7th at the moment, and Brazil are ranked 6th. So in terms of obviously sort of competitiveness, basically you couldn't be sort of evenly matched. I'm fascinated to see what lineup Ancelotti plays, whether he does this 4-2-4 or whether he does a 4-2-3-1 as well, and we'll see how they structure, or they rotate. Thankfully, your boy Neymar is not going to be anywhere near as well. He's still injured, so he's not even going to be on the bench as well. So he's just there as a mascot. So, but otherwise, aside from that. I mean, it will be interesting to see how Brazil come out. Does Vinicius turn up? How does Rafinha play with him? Cunha? It's going to be exciting. And then, of course, on the flip side, really looking forward to seeing that right side of Morocco's attack of Diaz, Hakimi, just basically sort of bombing down, and can obviously that left side of the Brazil side contain them.
I mean, I think it's
exciting.
It's quite possibly the matchup of the first phase. Of the first set of group stage games.
There's a couple of games, but I agree. France-Senegal as well would be up there as well.
No, but that's another one. Netherlands-Japan, I think, is going to be a good one.
Tomorrow. That's going to be a good one.
But again, like this is it. This is the creme de la creme of games, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
And then, of course, after that, you have Scotland against Haiti. And again, this is another example of, it's like Switzerland-Qatar. If you're Scotland, you look at this group phase and you go, we've got to get goals in 3 points.
You've got to score here. Yeah.
Got to do it. Got to do it. And I think Clark understands that, and he's gonna go in. He's gonna front load the guns, and he's gonna be like, get out there, boys. Get out there, lads, and take
just
it.
Get at them. Yeah.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, it does. And so you've got Scott McTominay as well. It'll be interesting to see if he can step up in this World Cup, because this will be his first World Cup appearance, and really say, okay,
I mean, for every Scot, this is their first World Cup appearance, because they haven't been there for 20 plus years, right?
And of course the Haitians, and let's not obviously discount the Haitians as well. So I think everyone here is their first World Cup appearance, right?
It is, and I don't, and I don't think Haiti's going to roll over. I just think that at the end of the day. Yeah. Unfortunately, Scotland has enough quality that if they don't go Scottish, they're going to win.
That's my fear about Scotland. Are they going to be like Canada, where they're just going to sort of like choke in front of goal and just like have all the possession, have all the attacking play, but just not be able to put the ball in the net? That would be my concern.
I hope not. The reason why I think is because you haven't mentioned it, but it's Lawrence Shankland is the key.
Okay.
Right? McTominay's great. Don't get me wrong. He's capable.
We all know who is.
He's capable of utter magic, but it's Lawrence Shankland who has been having a hell of a season.
So he was, because he plays for Hearts as well, and he was part of that Hearts revolution under the Tony. 16 goals. Wow, look at that.
He's 30 years old. He's 30 years old. He's a late bloomer. And it's like, this is the moment where if you've been spending your whole life waiting for something.
Mm-hmm.
Lawrence, this is it. You've got to go in and hammer it, man. And then you don't have a lot of youngsters on the Scottish team, but there are 3 of them of note, right? One is Ben Gannon-Doak, who plays for Bournemouth, right? You've got this guy, Tyler Fletcher, who got the call because when Billy Gilmer went out with the knee, this young guy, Tyler Fletcher, got a call. He's on Manchester United's B team. He's on their youth team. Okay. And then you've got this Kilmarnock player named Finley Curtis.
Yeah.
These three players will probably take the pitch at some point.
Yeah. Okay.
And this will be their moment to be like, we're the new Scots. Okay. We're the new generation. And they can seize that tartan and make it their own. And I like to see something on that front.
Fantastic. We did say this yesterday when we were talking about the US game about Pulisic, and we gave him the Proximo quote, and he certainly won the crowd, right? He certainly won the crowd.
100%.
So are we going to give this blessing on to Lawrence Shankland as well and say, Lawrence, win the crowd?
I think so.
Win the crowd.
Yeah, I think you can. I mean, listen, John McGinn is the heartbeat. He's the guy who's going to be in the middle doing rah-rah, all that stuff. McConaughey is going to be on the outside looking in, waiting for his moment. But Shankland is the guy who has to be up top at that focal point and then he's got to be the Dirk. He's got to be the Dirk that comes out and just stabs Haiti, unfortunately. I hate to say it. And I think Haiti's going to be, and I think Haiti's going to surprise. I think Haiti's going to surprise people.
Agreed. They're not going to be a rollover. It's what's going to be interesting. You're going to have very different styles of play because Scotland is traditionally sort of long ball, hard ball, physical contact, tough, rough, sort of Scottish weather. And then the Haitis are going to be pace. They're going to be dynamic. They're going to be attacking and quick. And it'll be interesting to see the two styles come against each other. Okay. Yeah, that will be an interesting one for sure. So yeah, definitely sort of this afternoon's and the evening's entertainment. And then the 11 o'clock kickoff for us in Texas, 9 o'clock for you was a little bit manager. I'm unfortunately, I'm going to try and stay up for this one. It's going to be hard, but I am really looking forward to seeing Turkey.
Yeah, I know.
Seeing Turkey. Turkey are going to be very exciting. I'm really interested to see how these two young Turks in particular play in the form of Kenan Yildiz and
Yildiz.
Yildiz. Is that Yildiz? Sorry, I'm just looking at all of their players on their squad. But yeah, I'm really excited to see Turkey.
I was just talking about the three Scotsmen, right? And these are the two Turks, right?
Yeah.
They're just really everything goes about them. And that's the interesting thing is that's not even all of the young ones that they've got because there's also Khan, right? Can Uzun up front.
Okay.
Right. From Eintracht. And the thing is they all kind of play the same position. So they're not really all going to be on the pitch at the same time.
Yeah.
And then there's also, you've got Aturkoglu from Fenerbahce. He'll be the starter up front. But if they gain a little bit of a breathing room, you're going to see Deniz Gül from Porto showing in. So it's
the striker.
They've got so much depth in this team
and young compared to the other squads.
Generally, well, their front line is young. Their attacking, their defending line is pretty experienced. Like their defending crew is real solid.
That's good.
So
yeah.
I think Turkey will go in and really this is a test for Australia because Australia hasn't been great. They've had some big, they beat Curacao 5-0, but that's not measurable against other World Cup level qualifiers in their build-up. They haven't done well. And their game against Mexico, again, it's a friendly. You can't read too much into it. It was a terrible match all around for both teams. You can't afford to have that. They really need to do something special here. And I don't know if they're capable of doing it. By the way, it's in my backyard. This is a game that's being held at the Levi's Stadium or the San Francisco Bay Area Stadium early in the day. Or sorry, no, excuse me. That was Switzerland-Qatar. I'm getting everything. My wires are all crossed. Switzerland-Qatar is in my backyard. Do me a favor when you're watching it, count the empty seats because I have a feeling there's not going to be anybody.
Yeah, but to be fair though, Switzerland-Qatar, it's and it's on the other side of the world. That's not the sort of, I think like Brazil-Morocco. If there's empty seats at Brazil-Morocco, then you got a real problem, right? That is true. No, Australia
and Turkey are playing in Vancouver.
Yeah.
So actually, they're playing up in Vancouver. So it'll be very clement. The weather will be nice because it's also a late kickoff for the West Coast. It's 9 p.m. kickoff, like you said, 11 in Texas, midnight. The reason for this, as you said, is because they want the Australians to be able to watch it live.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. And so we are through that. And
great times.
Any sort of predictions, any shocks? I know Qooligan, you've been notorious in sort of calling out some wild predictions. Any upsets here, do you think?
No, I think Switzerland takes Qatar. I think Scotland will take Haiti. In the Australia-Turkey, Turkey wins. because I still think Turkey's going to win the group. Right. I think quality, the Turkey, by the way, depending on how the Turks play, I'm really going to be looking forward to that USA-Turkey game. That could be an absolute banger.
Well, that is going to be, The one thing I'll say with Turkey is just watch out. The yellow card situation scares me. Again, that US, Paraguay.
No, but Australia gets far more yellow cards than traditionally Australia. They get yellow cards like crazy.
I think you're going to see also the Turks can also get a little bit temperamental and lose their heads a bit too easily. If it's not going well for them, we'll see. By the way, I know we're bouncing around all over the place and this is terrible presenting formatting, but that first VAR recalling that yellow card against Tim Ream in that USA game against Almiron.
Good pull.
That's it.
Good pull. That was, because that is exactly why they put the law in place.
And again, I have to give it to FIFA. Those rules that they've implemented have all been net positive in my opinion so far. Correct. They really have. Yeah.
No, it was the first occasion where we saw that happen. And not only did it happen, which I thought was good, but the way it happened was appropriate.
Play,
when the next stoppage of play came in, he got the call. They made him go over to the monitor. He saw, because when you look at it, I know there was a lot of people next to me going, why didn't they just see that in real time? I can tell you why they didn't see that in real time. Because that's a camera angle where there is no human looking.
Yeah, we know this. Yeah. And you can see Tim Ream's reaction. He's like, what the hell did I do? Yeah.
No, the AR couldn't see it because he was shielded by the body. He sees the reaction, but he sees Ream make the swing. He sees the reaction. He assumes there's contact. Macaulay can't see it either, right? And so they go ahead and do it, and they're talking to each other. And that type of swing and that type of fall generally would be a yellow card because it's a threat into the goal. Totally fine. Then when they go back and realize there was no contact and he dove, more to the point, there was no contact, but then also he dove, they were like, that's going to penalize Ream going down the line. We have to reverse that.
And that's quite right. And
that's what they did. And it was the appropriate way to do it. It didn't take that much time. They added the time on at the end. Everybody was fine. Beautiful.
And I think it also sends a message not only Almiron, but those who are also looking to also start trying to go looking and fishing for penalties and fishing for fouls. All of a sudden, you're in a decision. And there was also an interesting moment. I think it was the US game as well. I think it was, again, I think Balogun as well, same thing, where he got tripped. And there was a moment where it's like he could have gone down. You've seen players go down and he actually sort of stood his ground and it was good. And so I do wonder if that does sort of bring that back into the play because, again, we'll see, the Neymars, and obviously this is kind of almost partly for the Neymar rule because they're just, over-exaggerate and try and cheat the ref. So,
you also saw the first example of players when there was that head collision between Richards and maybe Cáceres. I can't remember who it was.
Yeah.
They both had to go off the pitch and they both had to stay there for a minute.
Yeah.
And you could see the fourth official going, no, 1 minute.
Yeah.
And then you're allowed back on.
That's good. Yeah.
But in that case, it was two players coming off. So it didn't impact the play at all. But you saw that as well. So some of the first rules already coming in. And I thank you for bringing that up. I had forgotten about that. But I was pleased as punch. I was pleased as punch on that one. Plus, I got to do a little ref-splaining to some of the people sitting around me, which
God, shit, yeah. What's worse than mansplaining? Qooligan ref-splaining. Wonderful. Qooligan,
I think we should start a podcast just called ref-splaining.
Well, I think we're there already. I think this is it. We're there. Yes,
it's true.
Wonderful. Well, Qooligan, 4 games today. More. We'll be back tomorrow as always. Obviously, go and check us out, hooligan-soccer.com. Please like, follow, subscribe, share. Really appreciate it. Let's keep going. What a World Cup so far.
Peace.